Temptation is more than the urge to do wrong. It's that quiet moment when desire steps into the room and looks your purpose in the eye. It's the whisper that tests whether desire or discipline rules the heart. I'm Thomas E. Cunningham, and tonight on The Eve Effect, we're asking a question that just might change the way you see temptation. What if I told you that the Garden of Eden is in your pocket right now? Same setup, same serpent, same tactics, same temptation structure, just a different screen. In tonight's conversation, we're exposing how phones, feeds, algorithms have become the modern tree of knowledge of good and evil. If you ever lost hours to scrolling and wondering how it happened, we're kicking it off tonight with something that's going to open your eyes. Stay right. Welcome to The Eve Effect, where we take a fresh look at an old story so you can better understand your own. I'm Thomas E. Cunningham, pastor and author of If Only Eve Would Talk, and a Christian life coach who has helped countless people break free from digital bondage. This podcast is all about honest conversations about real struggles, not sermons, conversations sparked by Eve's story in Genesis chapter 3. And what it stirs up in us. No shame, no judgment, just truth. So whether you've been a long-time believer, new to the faith, or just curious, you're welcome at this table. Tonight we're looking at the modern garden. And we're looking at something you may not have considered, your phone, how it's set up exactly like the Garden of Eden. Listen, the Garden of Eden isn't just an ancient story. It happens right now in our hands every single day. Now, I know that sounds kind of dramatic, but I'm going to show you the parallels, and you're going to see your phone and your relationship with it completely different. So we want to talk about the digital garden and learn how to navigate without falling again. So before we move on, I just want to see who's here. Drop your city or fire emoji to let me know that you're here tonight. I put a question up on the screen for you to answer. But if you're here tonight, give me a fire emoji or your city to let me know that you're at the table. All right, we got someone from Bowie. All right, give me Upper Marlboro is in the house. Okay. All right, fire emoji. All right, fire emoji. So we're starting to sit at the table now. Fire emoji or a city from where you're logging in at. Let me ask you this. When do you know it's time to put your phone down? Maybe it's when I've been scrolling for an hour and don't remember what I've seen. Maybe it's when it's 2 a.m. and I'm still watching videos. Or when I'm with people, but I'm staring at my screen. Or it could be when I finally realize I haven't prayed, but I've checked Instagram 10 times. When do you know it's time to put your phone down? All right, everybody's ready to eat at the table? When do you think it's ready or it's time to put the phone down? I see some fire there. A lot of questions and response. I'm looking forward to you responding in the chat. All right. Someone said they start putting the phone down when their eyes start to burn. Okay. When the eyes start to burn. When do you know it's time to put your phone down? Early hours playing games on the phone. Okay. Someone said when it drops in your face. I like that. I like that. I'm going to make sure everyone see that. When it drops in your face, how many of us been on our phone so long we fell asleep and it dropped right in our face? These are all powerful and they all point to the same thing. We know when we should stop, but we don't. Why? We know when we should stop, but we don't. Why is that? Here's what most people don't realize. Technology isn't neutral. Your phone wasn't designed to serve you. It was designed to addict you. Every app, every notification, every algorithm is engineered to keep your scrolling going, your clicking, and to keep you coming back for more. The phone wasn't designed to serve you. The apps wasn't designed to serve you. It was designed to addict you. Because the people who build these apps employ teams of psychologists, neuroscientists, and behavioral specialists whose only job is to figure out how to make you unable to put your phone down. They study what triggers the dopamine in your brain. They test which colors, sounds, and notifications create the strongest craving loops. This is what they do. And they measure exactly how long you can resist before you pick up your phone again. And then they design the apps to exploit those weaknesses. Now, this isn't conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theorist. This is business. This is a business model. Because the longer you're on the phone, the longer you're looking at the app, the more ads you see, the more data they can collect, the more money they can make. So you're not the customer, you're actually the product. And the setup they created mirrors the Garden of Eden perfectly. Wow. Drop the eye emojis if you're still sitting. I know you just got here, but some people will leave faster than they got there. So if you're still here at the table, just drop the eye emojis as we look into scrolling in the garden. But what we're going to learn and see tonight at the table is how the Garden of Eden is just like the digital garden that we're in. I love seeing the emojis. All right, there's a question I had on the screen before we move on. What do you regret more, time wasted online or things you've seen online? Time wasted online or things you've seen online. Okay, all right. Still here. All right, let's go for it. Tonight's conversation is going to make you look at your phone totally different, because what we don't understand is we carry the Garden of Eden with us. It's in our pocket. It's in the purse. It's in the jacket. Okay, think about it. The Garden of Eden had endless access to good things. Every tree in the garden, Adam and Eve had full access to good things. So in the Garden of Eden, there was endless access. In the garden, they had one boundary. Don't eat from the tree. Just one boundary. Endless access. One boundary. Don't eat from the tree. And in Eden, they had a voice in the garden. And the voice was suggesting you deserve more. Came through the voice of the serpent. You deserve more. So in the Garden of Eden, there was endless access to good things. There was one boundary, don't eat from the tree. And in Eden, they had a voice suggesting you deserve more. Okay, then look at your phone. Your phone has endless access to everything. Every show ever made, every song recorded, every person, every thought anyone ever shared. You have endless access. Then you have one boundary, self-control. That's the one boundary, self-control. And then there's a voice suggesting you're missing out. So algorithms are designed to keep you scrolling. Look at your phone and look at the Garden of Eden. Same structure, different technology. Endless access, one boundary, one voice. Just like what Adam and Eve had in the garden, we're carrying the Garden of Eden in our pocket, in our purse, in our briefcase, sits on our desk. It's the temptation in a digital age. Wow. It's going to be a good conversation tonight. How many of you have ever picked up your phone for just a second and looked up and it's an hour later? Type guilty or give me an emoji. Pick up the phone, you say, I'm just going to look at something, I'm going to check an email, check a text, and before you know it, you looked up, it's an hour later. Has anybody ever been there? Type guilty or give me some type of emoji. Guilty. Someone said guilty. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, welcome. All those who are responding, welcome. There we go. Those who are responding. All right. You looked up and it's an hour later. And just like Eve, we fall for it every single day. We pick up our phones thinking, I'll just check for a minute. And then 3 hours later, we look up and realize we've been scrolling through the digital garden and we can't even remember what we saw. Because your phone is designed to override your decision making to keep you hooked. Just like the serpent in Eden didn't show up once and leave, it made that one tree feel impossible for Eve to resist. And then he engaged her into a conversation. Your phone doesn't just tempt you once, it sends you notifications. It sends you suggested content, autoplay. It's constantly whispering, did you see this? You're missing out. Just one more. Keep scrolling. And before you know it, you've lost hours to something that gave you nothing. Never looked at my phone being the modern Garden of Eden. Kind of quiet. The difference is Eve had to physically walk to the tree. Your tree is in your pocket. Your tree is on your nightstand. Your tree is in your right hand right now. Eve had to physically walk to the tree. Do you think that temptation was going to switch up? No, it just comes in a different form. Eve had to physically walk to her tree, but we're in 2026. You don't have to walk to the tree. Your tree is in your pocket. Your tree is on your nightstand. It's in your hand right now. I see no emojis. What's going on? You still at the table? You're still at the table? I'm going to use sound effects tonight. I want to make sure we are all at the table. Someone said, is that why there's a bite out of the apple on the back of the iPhone? Can't explain that, but it is kind of strange that our tree is right there with us. And for so long, we've been looking at Eve's story and talking about Eve and not even realizing we have been actually carrying our tree around with us. It's right in your right hand. So I'm going to show you the three parallels and then a three-step plan to stand against this temptation. Because how many of us didn't even realize that we were carrying the tree with us? See, let me just share this for those who have been in the faith, those who are new to the faith, and those who are curious about the faith. Satan don't have to change the plan. It just use different scenes. We're in 2026. We're not going to walk down the street and see two big trees standing in front of us. No, he just redesigned the scene. And where Eve would physically walk to a tree and get tempted, we carry the tree around with us. I want to break down the three parallels between Eden and your digital life. Well, here it is. Parallel one. Endless access. Notice in Genesis chapter 2, verse 16, it says, you may surely eat of every tree of the garden. So Eve had access to everything. Access to abundance, variety, options. And that wasn't the problem. The problem was that in the middle of all that abundance, there was one tree she fixated herself on. She had literally hundreds or thousands of trees to choose from. but she couldn't stop thinking about the one she couldn't have. Your phone is the same. You have access to everything. Every show ever made, every song ever recorded, every person you've ever known, every thought anyone else have shared, every image ever captured. You have endless content and options. And yet you keep going back to the same apps, the same sites, the same habits. You got a whole digital garden at your fingertips, but you're fixated on the things that are hurting you. The abundance isn't the trap, the fixation is. And the apps know this. That's why Netflix have autoplay for the next episode. That's why TikTok has infinite scroll. That's why Instagram shows you suggested posts that never end. It's removing the moment where you have to decide. It'll make a decision for you. Can I get some? I got one ouch. Can I get some more ouches there? Can I get some more ouches at the table? Have you noticed how a series would automatically play unless you stop? It'll automatically play for you. TikTok has infinite scroll. You can just constantly scroll and scroll and scroll. Instagram shows you suggested posts. If you like this, let me make a suggestion for you. What it's doing is it's removing the moment where you have to decide. It's deciding for you. And the apps know this. It's called abundance. You got this whole digital garden at your fingertip, but you're fixated on things that are hurting you. Endless. Okay, here's another parallel between the garden and the digital garden that we find ourselves in, that we're in now in 2026. The boundary. There's one boundary. God gave Eve one rule. Don't eat from that tree. It's simple, it's clear, it's non-negotiable. But the serpent made it feel restrictive. And the way he did that was by asking in Genesis chapter 3, verse 1, did God actually say, you shall not eat of any tree in the garden? He twisted the boundary to make it sound like oppression instead of protection. And suddenly that one boundary felt unfair. Your phone does the same thing. The boundary is self-control. God expects us to have discipline, to set limits, to say no when something isn't good for us. But here's the truth. The boundary isn't there to punish you. It's there to protect you. The boundary is love. It's not limitation. And it's funny how we'll get mad at ourselves and challenge ourselves to look at something that we know that's bad for us. I'm grown. I can look at whatever I want to look at. And then who are you fighting with? Who are you talking to? We talked about that in some of the other conversations. Who are you talking to? And so you're arguing with yourself and you fight yourself. And what you're doing is you're fighting yourself to now scroll or look or linger on something that's hurting you. The boundary isn't there to punish you. The boundary is there to protect you. The boundary is love, not limitation. But temptation, Satan will have you thinking he's limiting you, but he's not limiting you. He is loving you and I. Wow, this is good. Conversation is real good. Now, here's another parallel between the Garden of Eden and the digital garden now. Another parallel is the addictive voice. Remember Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 says the serpent was crafty. He didn't scream. He didn't force. He didn't threaten. He suggested. He questioned. He planted seeds, but that seed grew into desire, and desire grew into disobedience. Now, here's the tricky part. Your phone has the same voice, but it's called algorithm. They study what you click, what you watch, what you linger on, what makes you react, and then they feed you more of that. They don't care if it's good for you. Notice it never yells at you, it just suggests. And before you know it, 3 hours have passed. Algorithms don't yell, they suggest. The serpent didn't yell, he just suggested and questioned. You want to watch another one? You good for another hour? You going to respond to that text? You're going to respond back to that, which you're looking at as limitation, but is actually love. God is keeping you from grabbing that which can hurt you. Okay, I got a question. What's the number one app that has a grip on you right now? I want you to type it. What's the number one app that has a grip on you right now? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, singles apps, Tinder. What app has a grip on you right now? Someone said YouTube. Okay, TikTok. All right, YouTube, TikTok. CapCut. Okay. For those who are being honest at the table, someone else said YouTube. Okay. What's a number one app that has a grip on you right now? Facebook. Okay, and YouTube. All right. Someone said the game app, Candy Crush. Never know. Those little temptations can take 4 and 5 and 6 hours out of your life, out of your time, and will cause you to now use your time on the wrong things. Someone said, what's up? Or WhatsApp. Okay. All right. Any more? What's the number one app that has a grip on you right now? Instagram. Okay.
Good job.
Yes.
So proud
Game
of you.
apps. Okay. I like that. Whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, game apps. Trap is what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. The lie is, if you're not online, you're missing something important. That's the lie. The truth is, most of what you're missing doesn't even matter. Think about it. When life gets hard, your phone offers an escape. But escapism doesn't solve problems. It just delays them. And when you finally put the phone down, the problems are still there. Plus, you wasted hours that you can never get back. But you have more power than that. That's the good thing about being at the table and being honest and talking about Eve's story to see how it can help us with ours. You have power, more power than that. So how do we navigate the digital garden without getting lost? Now that we realize that we're walking through that same form of garden in today. In fact, we are carrying the garden with us. We have more power than that. And we're going to find out how to navigate through that. One of the ways you can navigate through that is have a phone audit. For the next several days, track your screen time. Don't change your behavior. Just observe and then ask yourself, what app am I spending the most time on? And when do I reach for my phone? All right, I'm going to help. I've seen this a lot, and we're tempted with all forms of temptations. And one of the temptations in this conversation, we're talking about the digital age. So not realizing that we're carrying the garden in our pockets, in our purse, in our coats, in our briefcases, in our suit jackets, sitting on our nightstand. So one way to fight is to take a phone audit. Let me ask a question. When do you reach for your phone? When you're bored, when you're anxious, when you're lonely, or when you're stressed? That's something you have to ask. When do I reach for my phone? When I'm bored, when I'm anxious, when I'm lonely, or when I'm stressed? And then ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid? What am I trying to avoid? We know this at the table. Knowledge is power. But you can't fix what you don't see. We have to address the root. That's what this whole podcast is about. So you're going to do an audit. When do I normally pick up my phone? And what is actually happening? What am I trying to avoid? Another way that we can fight this, because we have the power, set one boundary. You can start now. Don't try to overhaul your entire digital life overnight. Just pray and pick one boundary and then commit to it. It can be no phone in the bedroom. Okay, charge your phone in another room. No social media before 10 a.m. Or set a 30-minute daily limit on your biggest apps. This is how you can fight the temptation. Or you can replace the scroll. That's another thing. Replace the scroll. You just can't just delete bad habits. You have to replace them. So you replace the scroll. Install a Bible app. Install a good book to read. Or better yet, reach out to someone in real life, not online. If you want to break the habit, if you want to break the temptation and keep yourself from reaching out and acting out what you are pondering or thinking or fighting, call someone in real life, but not online. Don't text them. Don't email on the phone. Pick up the phone and call them. Philippians 4:8 says, whatever is true, honest, just, pure, lovely, commendable, think about these things. So you have to fill your mind with better things, not endless things. Better things, not endless things. Fill your mind with better things, not endless things. Here's what I want you to remember. The digital garden is real and is designed to keep you scrolling, keep you comparing, and missing your actual life. But you have more power than you think in the Lord. You can set boundaries. You can delete apps. You can choose what you consume. Eve couldn't delete the serpent, but you can delete the app that's stealing your time, that's stealing your peace, and stealing your focus. I'm Thomas E. Cunningham. Thanks for being honest with yourself tonight. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. Until then, don't forget to notice it, name it, and nail it with truth. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next Thursday at 8 p.m.